Georgia, Georgia. I think I was on note. And that's about all I'm going to do. Four notes. Georgia, Georgia. Okay, because, well, can you say Mary Jo Shively? Okay, if you are a fan of a little TV show, sitcom, very leftist, by the way, but I didn't know that at the time, called Designing Women, but I love it anyways. Um, Inevitably, okay, each of us content makers reviewing dolls, okay, inevitably we are going to pour some of our own personalities and beliefs, even politics and religious beliefs will inevitably seep onto the screen. Um, each of us has his or her different style, okay, and different levels of expertise when it comes to the camera, and the equipment and editing and so on. Um, and I happen to be a very conservative person. Okay, I am so conservative. I almost don't believe in electricity. That's how conservative I am. But I'm not ridiculously conservative because everybody, whatever they decide to label themselves, is always a mixture of both. If you consider yourself liberal, you're going to have some conservative views. And if you consider yourself conservative, you're going to have some liberal views as well. But I digress. The reason why I decided to open this video, with four notes of the song Georgia on my mind, is because this doll, okay, is giving me very strong Mary Jo Shively vibes, as she was played by the lovely actress Annie Potts. Um, the show Designing Women is from the 80s and ran into the 90s. It's again, it's a lovely show, very leftist, like I said, but I won't hammer on that. I used to watch it, as a kid, really not understanding much of even the dialogue because I had just arrived to this country and I didn't really speak English, but I enjoyed, the beautiful hairdos, the outfits, and looking at very pretty women. Anyways, um, now the reason why I bought this doll, I don't know when I bought it, it's because, well, for one thing, it's no secret I'm in love with clones. But you see, this Mirror Magic Sandi, I don't know if she qualifies as a clone. She is higher quality than other dolls that are made of very hollow, blown plastic that it's an eggshell. No, these Mirror Magic Sandi dolls were actually very good quality. They weren't the highest quality, but they were good. They were a very good, these quote unquote clone dolls. I would like to call her competitor, not clone. Clone is not the accurate adjective this doll deserves. I would say competitor. A bit of lesser quality, competitor, but not much less. Okay. And I love this doll because, yes, the same frivolous reason why I love any other doll, her looks. But I also love her because her name is Sandi. Sandi was a girlfriend of mine who I love dearly. Dearly, dearly, dearly. She was like a sister to me, an older sister, a loving and doting older sister whom I had so much fun with, Sandi. She taught me some life lessons. And one of the lessons that she taught me, and it's been like 30 years since she said this to me, but I can't forget it. She said, "Oh, Donnie, your life is going to be dotted with so many people that you're going to love. But unfortunately, not all those people will remain. Some will die, some will disappear, some will leave you and break your heart in two." Well, Sandi broke my heart. She didn't hurt me, but she broke my heart when she passed away. Uh, I love Sandi very, very much. We, she was a beautiful human being. I, um, I wish she was here. But she was one of those people that has dotted my life with joy, as she puts it. As she put it, I met her fresh out of high school. I'm 50 years old right now. I'm proudly, and Sandi was not liked by everybody on account of her physique. Sandi was very overweight, and some people were cruel to her, and they would dodge her like a bullet. I took to her like a dog to water because, you know, I have a weight problem too, you know, and I've never discriminated against a friend based on their looks. Even though it's been done to me, I treat people as individual. I have come across people from all walks of life, all ages, or looks, all physical body types, and so on. And, I've always figured people are different. And because my mom always told me, treat people as they treat you. Never mind, you know, what they look like, because oftentimes the prettiest people have the ugliest hearts. And sometimes the quote unquote ugliest people have the most beautiful hearts. But, anyways, back to the doll. Um, this is Sandi. She says, posable, 8 outfits in one. And that's because, well, she comes with pieces that you can rearrange like so to create different looks. Okay. I said this, excuse me, once, and I said it, and I'll say it until the day I die. One of the reasons why I love quote unquote clone or competitor dolls to the, unbeatable Barbie is because when I see more affordable alternative to Barbie, I simply see a parent's love. Or not necessarily a parent. It could be a grandparent. It could be an older brother, an older sister, an auntie, an uncle, a dear friend, a teacher. Oh yes, even a teacher. Any human being that's in your life and knows you're into dolls and may not be able to afford to purchase the luxurious Barbies, but instead they think of you enough to spend their hard-earned money on one of these less expensive, more affordable, attainable, lovely little ladies. It's love. Love went into purchasing this doll. Not to say that people who buy Barbies as gifts for others are not loving. No, of course not. But like I said, people are different, and not everybody's budget is the same for a million different circumstances. So, to me, these inexpensive little ladies and gentlemen, because they made boy dolls too, again, they represent a parent's love or anyone else's love that says, "Hey, this is the best I can do. I know you love dolls. I'm sorry it's not anything more expensive, but this is the best I can do." And you know how they say it's the thought that counts? Yeah, because anybody that thinks of you to spend a penny of their hard-earned money on you, You should be grateful. Yeah, I'm standing on my soapbox. I'm being sanctimonious. And yes, I'm even being judgmental. Go right ahead. Label me judgmental. Is the fact that the way I was brought up is to appreciate everything and everyone, because nothing or any or no one should be taken for granted. I hate it when I'm taken for granted. It really hurts me. So I wouldn't want to take anyone else for granted. So I endorse very heavily not taking people or even possessions for granted. Anyways, back to the dollies, and now unboxing Miss Sandy. Okay, the thing about this mirror magic Sandy, it states clearly that the mirror is not included, okay, on the box, which is a good safety net for the makers of Sandy, because if it's called mirror magic, one would imagine that this mirror would be included. I mean, it would have been nice, but I'm sure it would have raised the cost of the doll to make. And of course, the cost gets passed down to purchase onto the people. So to keep this doll affordable, they had to go against their own moniker, okay, of Mirror Magic, and say, well, yeah, we're calling this on Mirror Magic. We are showing her to you with a mirror, but don't get it twisted. We're not including the mirror with the doll. So chill, heifer, chill. And again, all of these are insights of a 50-year-old man. Because as a little boy, I didn't know any of this. Any child that would pick up this doll would simply be PO'd that the doll that says mirror magic does not bring a mirror, right? But again, as adults, we realize the world is not what we thought it was when we were children, and you have to make allowances. Okay, uh, postable 8 outfits in one. So, like I was saying, this doll reminds me of the character Mary Jo Shively. Her hair, her big hair, her hazy outfit. Yes, the outfit is hazy. And I'm calling it hazy not in a snide manner, but lovingly. Yes, the outfit is hazy. Almost um, matronly or grandmotherly, because it's very feminine. She's draped from head to toe, lots of lace, and so it's very lady, very very lady. Okay, um, so okay, let's get to the unboxing. Um, Again, this doll does not have a date of when it was made. Okay, and that was very shrewd of the brand TOTSY not to put a year on their dolls' boxes, because that would give them longer shelf lives. Because the toy world and the world at large, is ruled by trendiness. Let's face it. Most people are swept away by what's hot, what's new, what's trendy. I'm not one of those people. I like what I like because I liked it. Something about it, struck a chord in me. And if I liked it yesterday, I'm liking it today, and chances are I will continue liking it tomorrow. Anyways, so here's Miss Mary Jo Shively. I'm calling her Mary Jo Shively, even though she's not the Mary Jo Shively doll, because, as far as I know, no dolls were made of Designing Women. Designing Women being the sitcom that I just mentioned earlier. Okay, but if they had made Designing Women fashion dolls, I think this would have been a great choice to portray Miss Mary Jo Shively. Okay, she let me. I'm sorry, maybe I rambled on too much in this video, before I got to the unboxing. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. But you know what? No, I take that back. I'm not apologizing. I apologize for apologizing. You know why? Not that I'm being arrogant or that I'm being a jerk. It's just that I rambled on earlier because I'm rambling with my insights, with how I feel. And people should be unafraid and unapologetic of expressing how they feel. So, no, I will not apologize for saying how I feel. I would apologize if I hurt anyone's feelings unadvertently, unbeknownst to me, or, that I would apologize for, but not for expressing myself. Okay, it says it has, this ensemble is made of 8 pieces. It says no, I'm sorry, it says 8 outfits in one. That's not to say that it's 8 pieces. Um, it says dress her up 8 different ways. It doesn't say the amount of pieces, the number of pieces that it brings, but I'm gonna count. Okay, this skirt, this lower skirt, okay, that attaches with dreadful Velcro. Ugh, I hate Velcro so much, gosh. This is, a skirt, an overskirt rather, because it wraps around. That's one piece. Um, this ruffle, let me take her out. Surprisingly, the elastic has not worn out after all these years. Look, this is really good quality. So calling her a clone is not only inaccurate but also arbitrary and unfair. This is not a clone. This is a competitor. A competitor. Okay, piece number 2, a ruffle. Her hair. Let me see. Did they do a part? No, they didn't do a part. But it's, well, she has some bald spots. She's not as populated as she could have been, but it's good. The hair is itself is good. It's good. Is thick. Okay. Is bright. Okay. So again, being fond of clones and competitors, I'm a bit biased, so I will not slam on this little lady, on my little Mary Jo Shively. Okay, so that's 2 pieces. The wraparound skirt, the this ruffle. Okay, that's 2 pieces. This jacket, okay, which is the third piece. This little bolero type of jacket that could be worn front ways or back ways. Piece number 3, and I love the color scheme. I love the way that they use lavender for her liner. I love lavender. It's one of my favorite colors. Okay, that's 3 pieces. Oh, by the way, this comb did not come included with the doll. The doll did not include a comb. This is something that I purchased on my own. But it's purple in the family of lavenders, so I felt it belonged. Okay, so that's 3 pieces. Well, this is 4. I guess it would be piece number 4. I'm not gonna undress her completely. Okay, it's not really necessary. Okay, I guess this piece number 4. I guess, and piece number 5 would be, panties. You know, um, Panties on a doll. I believe. Yeah, here I go, being judgmental. I believe it's a good message for little girls. Okay, to wear underwear. But anyways, um, so yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, a 5 piece ensemble. I guess 6 if you count the earrings because they are removable. Okay, you can take them off to style her hair more comfortably. Okay, and her shoes. Her shoes, that are these lovely, lovely open toe mules, which I'm crazy about. I love these mules. These open toe mules are the bee's knees. They are silver, metallic silver, of course coated, not actual silver. This is, cheapy little plastic. But I love these open toe mules. I love them. Her articulation is primitive by today's standards, because, well, a lot of people seem to be absolutely nuts about the made to move bodies. I'm not one of those people. Not to slam on the people who love those extremely unnecessarily articulated bodies, but hey, to each his own. If you like those very articulated bodies, honey, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. Call me a dinosaur because I am happy with my primitive movement dollies. This is good enough for me. Like I always say, I don't care for dolls that someone figured must need to pop and lock their necks or be able to crack every knuckle. It's a doll. I don't expect that much reality from a doll. So her points of articulation, if anyone cares, her head that has a ball joint, okay, which is very forgiving, to remove. Okay, her arms, which go all the way around. Okay, her waist that twist, and her legs that click and bend. See, this is more than we can say for a lot of today's dolls. The legs do not bend like this. Or if they do bend, they have those unsightly hinges that make them look like just very unsightly, very unsightly. So here's my little Mary Jo. Yeah, I'm calling her Mary Jo Shively. Again, because she reminds me of that character. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly, I forgot. I'm going to put on her adorable little open toe mules. There. I love these shoes, y'all. I really, really love them. And I guess the reason why I love them is because they really remind me of my aunties when I was a little boy. When I was a little boy in the late 70s and early 80s, these type of open toe mules, were all the rage. I'm gonna have to trim this little bit of extra plastic, but I don't have scissors in my hand right now. But anyways, so that pretty much wraps it up, okay, for this Sandi dash Mary Jo Shively. As I've christened her, I like her very much. I think she's cute as a button. She's very adorable. And these Totsy dolls, they're not an arm and a leg. They become collector's items simply because people like me decide to collect them. I don't recall when I purchased, like, when I got this doll. I don't have the date when it, but I love her. I love her. I love her. Totsy, I don't. I think they've gone out of business, or maybe they merged with another toy company. I don't know what happened to Totsy, but I want to go on record by saying that I'm very fond of their dollies. I love Totsy dolls. I really, really do. Well, I believe I have taken very much of your time, maybe too much of your time. Thank you all. Oh, let me test the hair if I can comb. Yeah, I can comb it. I can comb. It's a little stiff because, well, it's been boxed for at least 30 years. At least 30 years. Because even though this box does not specify a year, she looks very 80s. She might even be early 90s. But again, the safe bet is somewhere in the 80s. Somewhere in the 80s. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. I appreciate the views, the comments. I love you all very, very much. Thank you for allowing me and my rinky dinky little videos to come into your lives. Yeah, because I'm coming to your life. You're making me a part of your life because you occupy your time watching excuse me. You occupy your precious time, okay, watching my rinky dinky little videos, okay, and listening to my gibberish. Again, I appreciate that so much. Thank you, thank you. I love you guys. Smooches. And until next time, this is Donnie telling it like a TI is. Ta ta for now.